Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to review the 2020 Bataleon Omni. This board is available in 4 sizes, 154, 158, 160, and 162. This board features Bataleon's dynamic camber with their free ride 3BT technology and sidekick. So near as I can tell, what dynamic camber is it's a slightly set back traditional camber, so you end up with a little bit more nose than you do tail, and it just changes how the pop actually engages. Now, freeride 3BT is just better for cruising the mountain, and sidekick just helps elevate the contact points and whatnot and scoop the tip out. Basically, freeride 3BT is more defined in the nose, less defined in the tail. Not as crazy defined as their powder 3BT, and it's not like their freestyle 3BT. I rode this board at Arapahoe Basin on a day that started out sunny and kinda nice and just went to shit really fast. Like a storm rolled in, it went to puking snow, high winds, low visibility. Snow was good, it was just cold as shit, and I rode this board with my K2 Indy bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. Alright, let's look at this thing. Clearly it's directional, which means directional flex. Softer nose, stiffening up through the middle, stiffer tail, decent amount of torsional flex, not a crazy amount. Overall, this is one of those boards that you feel like you've ridden it 100 days when you get on it. There was like no break into it. You just went and you rode it. It was a very comfortable ride. Now, much like other Bataleons, this is a very lively board, which means it doesn't do the greatest job of dampening. You will notice some chatter out in the nose, and it will resonate back to about the front inserts. It doesn't resonate into the middle or the back. Now, what I did notice with this board that it did better than other Bataleons was rutted out terrain. It didn't get bucked around, it absorbed it. You could push through it. It was one of those boards that was stable to a point. It's just you could feel every little micro vibration underfoot, and it would fatigue your leg throughout the day. What was awesome about this board was how much snap comes off that tail. When you load up that camber zone, you can feel that rebound just launch you right out of the tail. This board would pop over and off of anything. It wasn't hard to engage, but it wasn't the easiest. It's kind of that middle of the road, you know, you do have to load it up to get pop because it is traditional camber. So if you're a lazy rider, you're probably not gonna like it. But dear God, the snap off that tail was fucking phenomenal. Realistically, the only thing you want to butter on this board is the nose. It's got that scooped out shape from the 3BT and sidekick in there. It's not as aggressive as other ones. It's got a softer flex. You can press into the sweet spot. The tail, on the other hand, I mean, there's really not too much going on back here. I mean, you can do wheelies and shit, and that's about it. Much like the one, this board engages right behind the front foot when you're getting it on edge, and the transition is smooth and nimble. But unlike the one, there's more torsional flex to it, and there's just more flex in this board overall. So you can center flex the board, load up off that tail, and slingshot out of carves. This board was a blast for carving on. Like, I just enjoyed being able to do tight, quick carves into long, swooping ones and hold it out. Now, I will say sometimes on my heel edge, just really driving into it, I would notice that it would disengage, it would lose contact from that back contact point and kind of skid the turn. I think this is typical of 3BT, and it's just something you have to be aware of. There is a limitation on that heel side edge because your body's natural anatomy doesn't allow you to leverage it like you would on your toes. But carving on this board is fucking awesome. I dug it. This was just one of those boards that I was just ripping carves around all the slow fucking people at the basin. So who's this board for? It's definitely for the guy that wants to rip groomers and chase powder and likes having a bit of flex in their board so that they can drive it. Someone that's gonna go out, slash some snow at the top of the mountain and rip a groomer mid-mountain and then carve around the people at the bottom to get back on the chairlift and repeat. Right off the bat, this board just felt like something I'd ridden 100+ days, which I've already mentioned in this review. It also felt like it was the little brother to the one. It just had more flex, more snap, and it was just a more forgiving and playful ride, which translated into better control, better edge-to-edge transmission, and just being a board I wanted to ride around the whole mountain with no issues. It was just a fun free ride board. I can't stress that enough. Comparable boards: the Jones Flagship, K2 Joy Driver, although that might be a little bit stiffer than this and more like the one, but it's similar enough. The Capita Black Snowboard of Death. This has been my review of the new 2020 Bataleon Omni. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you buy one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a discussion about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of these product review videos or other content we've got coming out for you on this channel and through all of our snowboarding network. If you really want to support us though, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. We're trying to make a full-blown snowboard news network, and we can't do it without your help. I could tell you more here, but I've got a video over there that will really break it down for you. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.